layout of this big, the front and backing panels is somewhat more challenging and more different than the end panels. First, we glue up just these 5 pieces, and we make sure it's square, and then we glue on the ends. And in the booklet, it shows that, right? So this is what we're doing first. And this by far is the most critical. Then we'll glue on the 2 stiles. Easy. This is tough, then this is easy. My clamps, I have one right underneath that mullion, and I have one here too. It's not gonna do much clamping. It's just holding these up to balance it. In fact, I think I want to move that over a little bit. Okay, let's find the location of the mullion. And I'm just measuring half and half. So I'm coming over 15 and a half. And I'm checking there that it's the same. That's the very center. So I'm matching 12 with 12, and I'm putting the mullion right in the center. Remember to do a double check on all your joints. Make sure that these have been cleaned up and this rounds over properly. No flat spots. I have checked these previously, so they're accurate, but check yours. That goes in first. Now I'm putting my panels in. Notice this is number 1 and number 2, right? The grain lines up. Watch yourself, it's easy to flip it like this, and then all the work you've done to keep them lined up is for naught. 1 corner there, 1 corner there, and then drop it in. 1 corner there, 1 corner there, and then drop it in. Okay. So a thing to notice, this is shorter than the mullion. That must needs be. And this might be a little more than it needs to be, but that's okay. It's still well within limits. It's got plenty in there. And you want to have about 1/8 of an inch separation so that this panel can expand and contract. If it's taller than this, right, use your mallet, make sure it's down tight, that's down tight. If this is taller than that, you'll have to fix it. This will need to be trimmed off so that it's about 1/8 inch less. If you trim off too much, then just go reshape that edge. Now I'm putting my top on, top rail.
Here, pause first.
Okay, so I'm centered there, Lock it in place with a clamp, making sure that joint's tight, that joint is tight. Now let's check the whole thing for square. First I'll measure this direction, and it's 17 5/16. And here, 17 1/8. So this is going like that. To solve that problem, I'm just engage this clamp and squeeze these together slightly so they're the same. 17 3/16, 17 1/4, so a little bit more. Now they're the same. Now I can measure the diagonal, 35 1/2. 35 5/16. So we're about 3/16 inch out. That's too much. And what's happening is this is longer. So what I have is a parallelogram that looks like this. So So what I'm going to do is just knock this corner over. Loosen that up. And we'll try it again. Make sure this is the same. It is. Now the diagonal, 35.5, 35 and 7/16. So we are within tolerance now, 1/16 of inch tolerance. If not, I would pound it over some more. Okay, here I'm making sure that this panel is not farther out. Notice that it's inside of that rail and also inside of that rail. If it was hanging out, I would have to adjust it or trim some off. Let's make sure this side is also that way, right? So I'm inside of here and inside of there, so all is well. That's my dry fit. Now I know what I'm doing, I'm ready to glue it. So I'm pulling this apart. All that work will be well worth it once I've got glue on this. Let's see. Get my brush ready. And I'm getting all the water off of it. Now, on the mullion, we have to stay a 1/2 inch in from there and a 1/2 inch in from there, from both sides. It's going to squeeze out and get on our panel. So I'm going to stay away from those edges about a 1/2 inch. But everywhere else needs to be coated thoroughly. That's why you're using a brush. If you just squeeze it in with the bottle, it won't be enough and it won't spread. We got to get good positive contact. And you even got maybe a little bit too much glue. So I'm spreading it. That's about right. Need a little more there. That is all the glue that is going on this. Okay, I've got it centered. Corner to corner. Now I'm seeing some glue in there and I want to pick it out. Let me show you what I'm looking at. See that drop of glue in there? I don't want that to freeze to my panel, so I'm gonna just reaching in and grabbing it. There we go. This side I got a little drop too. Okay. Corner to corner, drop in. Corner to corner, drop in. Trying to hit center. Clamp it. Check it for square. First measure here, 17 1/4. I remember that's about what it should be. It's a little bit too much. It's good. Diagonal. 35 and 9. 35 and 1/4. So same thing happened as did before. I'm going to knock that rail over. check it. 35.5. 35 7/16. Making sure that panel is in past the rails. This one is in past the rails. Excellent. So now I'm ready to put this on. And if I don't have time, I can stop here. Right? I can take a breather. Even let it dry overnight, because now it's just a matter of putting that on. Everything is square. Okay, to put these side stiles on, I'm going to apply glue 1/2 inch in all the way over, all throughout it. Same thing on this side. Gonna get a little bit more from there. Excellent. This one I just line up on top so that it's flush. Okay, other side. About 1/2 inch in from where that panel is going to be. Don't forget underneath. Good. This is going to go back in the water so that it doesn't dry out. Flush it up there. Okay, now we're going to lay clamps this way across the top. Cinch those tight. Okay. So I want to see squeeze out there. I don't want to see it inside here. So it's clean, clean, clean. This has a little drop. Notice how you just pick it out of there. Hard to get into that corner. Got a little on this corner too. Pull that out. Right, no wet rags. Okay, so this one, because of that, there's so much glue in the corner, it could be on the corner of this panel, but there's nothing I can do about it now. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it. I'm gonna pick out the glue though. Good. We can clean off the top with a wet cloth there. Below. And now I'm going to flip it over. So note that I'm only using 3 clamps. Those 2 are going to stay here. I don't need those. They're not doing me any good now. Clean off this glue. I gotta wait 15 minutes for this, and then I can start squaring it. If it sits overnight, that's great. It'll cure the glue by then, and I can sand it then also, but all I need to do is wait till it sets up. So I put my name on here big and bold so that everyone knows that it's mine. I put my period, and 15 minutes from now will be 10:05.